Welcome back
Welcome back.
to this week's podcast, which this week is going to be brought to you by Asian market halls and alternative realities.
All right. This week is also brought to you by unions and cars.
Keeping it simple, I like
Uh-huh.
I am your host, Madison.
I'm your other host, Jesse James, and I can't say the other stuff that this is brought to you by because it's nasty.
Okay. Oh no, we'll get demonetized.
Yeah, we might miss out on all that money. So
YouTube Kazash.
I'm just drinking coffee with very bad creamer in it. What are you drinking that you've been making loud?
So this is actually just water because I am constantly hydrated, but I kind of figured out that like a child, if you put a straw in the drink, I'll drink more of it. So
Okay. You're like the 10th person that I'm friends with that has said that putting a straw in something has encouraged them to drink it. So whatever.
turns out we're all just children trying to make our way on this planet.
Yeah, maybe my refusal to use straws is why my teeth are annoyed with me constantly.
Maybe. I don't know.
Hard to say.
It could be the acidic saliva.
Yeah, I mean, being a weird dinosaur doesn't help your teeth.
I guess not. But I do have alternative drink for later. Or now.
Excellent.
Probably now.
Okay. Whatever you feel comfortable with. I have all right. What is this? $5 sips from Applebee's. Served mucho. Oh fuck. I wonder if I can order Applebee's while I'm still here. Oh my god, it's an Applebee's mixed drink. It just got here so fast. It's Mucho Cocktail for me. Oh, it looks like it's been in a refrigerator for over a week. Man, that's weird. I'm gonna recup this. I mean, I like what they brought it for.
This is so intricate.
Oh no, thank you, Applebee's.
Oh my god.
I went to this one.
Cannot do. This truly is the land of the free.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my god. Oh, fill that sucker up.
Let me just. So it came with a gummy shark in it.
Ew. No, that's just been marinating in there for how many days? You said?
A little while. Let me concentrate on this.
Oh god.
See, it does double duty because this mixes the drink as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's some old tape. I don't know why they deliver it like this. So specifically old.
It's for the great aesthetics.
Oh, and now it looks good. Now it looks like a delicious drink.
Why is it milky?
It's best not to ask. Oh. Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow, that's a good drink right there.
Okay, I'm sorry. One more time. What is that flavor? What monstrosity did you purchase? Mucho macho? Is that what?
No, the cup just says Mucho Cocktail. The cup says Mucho Cocktail, and the ad says served Mucho.
Oh, okay.
So it's a whole thing. I got this drink, and so did a mutual friend of ours. I heard after it had gotten drunk that it was very good from them. So I can only trust them so far. It's not it's not that it's the worst. Like, if I were to go to a place and get a mixed drink, I'd be like, I mean, this is a drink. It's
What
interesting.
what is it supposed to be? What is the flavor supposed to be? Blue? Blue flavor?
Let me, that's a good question. Let me just go to Applebee's.com where I clearly just got this delivered to me. And I'll just go ahead and nope, can't get rid of that tab. That one's important. Okay, this tab I can get rid of. Sorry, my phone is at tab capacity, so I have to pick a tab right now. So welcome to our conversational leftist mukbang. The tone has been set, and you now understand where you reside.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. I guess.
Ye who listen here. Nice enough. That will be a good theme for today. Wait, are they refusing to show me Applebee's drinks on here? Oh, that is unacceptable.
That is quite unacceptable.
Also, Applebee's, I always misspell it because I don't think it could possibly be what the name is. I don't know.
It's literally Applebee's.
Yeah.
Apples and bees.
It's just apples, bees. No problem.
Apples, bees.
Okay, so for Nick, I did get this green thing.
The Tipsy Leprechaun.
The Tipsy Leprechaun I did get for Nick. It's Irish whiskey with blue curacao, sweet and sour, and lemon lime soda, and melon liqueur.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's, it's stuff.
When I think of mixing alcohols that are brown and alcohols that are blue, I don't typically think, yeah, that's going to be delicious. But
well, you got to think outside the bun.
The Tipsy Leprechaun has proved us all wrong.
MUCHO cocktails once in a while. How is it possible that it is... Wait, somebody put up a thing that's the how many best drinks of Applebee's? Somebody's got problems.
I do have fond memories of ordering some very lovely Halloween-themed drinks.
I could see that going on.
Yeah, that was pretty fun, actually. I can't remember. There was one that was like vampire-themed that was very red, and I did enjoy that one.
I mean, that is one of my favorite donuts that I don't actually like, is the like vampire themed donut that every specialty place has. Okay. I found a Food Insider article about this, but I couldn't find it on the menu, so maybe it disappeared. It's just called a shark bowl. Oh, sorry, a Mucho shark bowl.
Yeah.
According to this, it is Captain Morgan's rum and tropical fruit flavors. That explains nothing.
I like it when they say there's flavors in it.
Yeah. Thanks for that. So I guess it comes down to it being, it's got some rum in it.
All right. Yeah.
The flavor dictates it may have to have something else in it once I get this lowered a bit, because it is really fucking sweet.
I would not have expected that from a drink that has a gummy inside of it.
Oh, boy. Anyway, so that's Drink Corner. Do you have any foods on your end?
I do. I do have a drink corner as well, and I do have foods corner. So we will expand upon this later for one of my topics, but I visited an Asian market this week, and I procured some Taiwan beer.
Excellent.
which
Oh.
has new flavors that I have never seen before.
Uh-huh.
I have previously gotten the lychee one, but I found a grapefruit and a white grape flavor. So
Hmm.
this is
That
the grapefruit.
sounds extremely good.
Yeah, I really like the the lychee one. It was really good. It's very sweet and it doesn't really taste like beer for people who don't really like beer. So
Yeah, I feel like lychee is always mild. Like that's sort of the idea.
yeah. So let's give this grapefruit beer a try.
Aerate it, get that mouthfeel. Yep, that's the sound of drinking.
Yeah, that's good.
Uh-huh.
That's actually really good.
What would you compare it to?
It honestly tastes. It's very grapefruity. I wasn't expecting for it to be this strongly flavored of grapefruit. I thought it would
Mhm.
be a little citrusy, but it kind of genuinely tastes like I'm drinking some sparkling grapefruit juice. That
that
with
that is what I normally want out of a grapefruit anything. So that's impressive that they pulled that off.
yeah, and it's sweet, but it's not too much. So highly recommend. That is very good. And I am excited to try the white grape flavor.
Speaking of the white grape flavor, what is your wolf howling shirt?
This is a new addition to my collection of horrible
Oh,
t-shirts.
very
It's
good.
from a karate classic that I did not compete in. But I
Oh,
thought it was pretty good. It's got all of the here I'll back up so we can get the full effect. It's got all the good things that you want on a shirt, like a
it's extremely powerful, is all I can really say.
it's very good. Like what more could you want? You have your wolf, you've got your yin yang symbol, and like a fire and ice dragon situation going on. I don't there's just a lot, but I really liked it.
I'm
So,
I'm glad you were able to make it to the 27th annual. It's really
oh,
it's
thanks.
an
Yeah.
important one. That reminds me quite a bit of my belt buckle from the mid 80s of a walrus from Alaska. That's just like, all right.
That's good.
Uh,
Great. I like that a lot.
Old clothing is almost always the best clothing. I
Or
think that's what we need to.
2013 clothing.
Yeah, 2013 clothing.
Yeah, on the back there's a bunch of like sponsors of local businesses that I actually haven't read through, so that'd be interesting. Also, this took place in Missoula, Montana,
Ooh,
which I think is really awesome.
Missoula is. I think they still live there. That is where some of the people from where I went to school ended up.
Mm,
And were from, I think. I think they went back to Missoula. Why do I
yeah,
have this plastic spoon? It's
it's
probably still food safe.
yeah. Well, oh, and finishing up my snack corners. Also, from my Asian market haul.
Oh,
A bag of Lay's that is spicy crawfish flavor.
yes, excellent.
Yeah, I got another bag the other day that was seaweed and gochujang flavored, and
And it was acceptable.
stupid good, stupid good. So we'll get this going. Oh yeah.
Get that
Ooh,
first stink cloud out of it.
it's so sweet smelling.
Huh. I would
I
have
was
expected it
not.
to be spicier if it's supposed to go with crawfish.
Yeah, me too.
I
Interesting.
was I was thinking Cajun, though it is that the color of bag suggests maybe sweeter, but
It smells like maple syrup to me.
okay. Yes, get into that, please.
Yep, that's good.
What
I don't
flavors
know
stand
why.
out to you? Is it like a sweet shrimp chip, or is it more interesting than that?
Yeah, it's mm, the flavor is more crab like than uh a shrimp chip.
Okay.
I have actually never had crayfish, so I can't speak to the authenticity of that flavor, but it definitely tastes like seafood.
Hold on a second. Let me just. That's a pop secret. Pop secret.
Mm.
My pops and I used to go catch crawdads out of a local river in northern Washington, or a creek, I guess. Very small, with hot dogs. So, uh, you gotta pay a little dinner to get a better, larger dinner back. And sometimes one of those dinners just grabs onto the first dinner and you whip it into a basket.
That sounds really fun.
They are sort of like a slightly crabbier tasting shrimp, basically.
Mm.
So that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Let me take a sip of this. I did splash it with whiskey to make it taste like anything else. Okay, it's a little better.
All right.
I gotta get those gummies out of there.
No, they need to swim and marinate a little more.
Okay, well, I've been saving this last bit of so-so coffee. Set that there, because I made. Well, let's grab the other part of this. So these are actually designed to be used as a birthday gift for a mutual friend of ours whose birthday is this week. And so last night I made these. I'm gonna garnish a few of them with one of these guys. These are also very good. These are the like kosher gummies that are less sweet and less shitty than regular gummies,
Oh, that sounds
and
good.
almost always cheaper. Anyway, so these guys are. I'm trying to make chewy rice treats lately. This is like an egg yolk based one. Um, they're pretty good. They're not especially sweet or anything, and I'm keeping them refrigerated to up their chew factor.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving all of these away, so
No, can't do that. Ooh,
yeah.
I heard that. It sounded, yeah. Mm.
Hmm. It's like a slightly firmer, like a cake pop texture almost.
Ooh.
Um, and it's I put like a dark chocolate powder on it initially, which I think looks good. But I had to add some regular powdered sugar
Mm.
because the it doesn't necessarily need a lot of bitter to even it out the way I usually use chocolate.
Mm.
But I'm trying to take some inspiration from like New Year's and spring treats that I like from around here. But they're still not as chewy as I would like, but they are pretty good still. They're good enough to be gift chewy. My hope is to make something in the future that I can stretch a little bit. That'll have
Mm.
like a really really soft taffy
Like,
texture.
are you trying to achieve kind of a mochi
I want to get
texture?
close to it. So
Mm.
one of the things that I might make to go with this, depending, is I've been considering making like a probably have to be flat because it'll have more um, heft to it. But making like a chocolate uh, like a chocolate mochi-ish kind of thing.
Mm.
I think that would go pretty well with these. But I don't know. I'm giving it a try. I've experimented with a lot of other smaller baking things. So doing something a little bit outside of the like average cakes and stuff seems more fun right now.
Yeah. So did you use like a rice flour?
Yeah, I used a rice flour. You can only find so many rice flours at like the store here, but I cut it with a little bit of potato starch, so it kind of gave it a little more grip. And unfortunately, the way I was making it was mostly by sight, so a lot of my measurements right now are by the spoonful. I just have the spoon I used sitting with the other stuff. So, I don't know. It turned out pretty well. I'll probably do a spoon less of the liquid next time and see if I can thicken it up a little more.
Get them a little more chewy.
My fear is that I actually am going to have to use just as much liquid, but cook it for longer, which they don't look like it, but they basically start out as a very, very watery, sweet egg syrup. And you just, it's like if you're making eggs that have a bunch of other stuff in them, and they take like, I don't know, a half hour plus of just stirring it to get it to start to stiffen. And I think I might have to up the heat a tiny bit and also up the liquid to make sure it doesn't like get too like thick too fast.
Dense. Yeah.
Because right now it's very smooth. Like it is I don't know. It's honestly not that far off from like a firmer like a dough that like kids would have or something. So my goal is to make it have like a little bit of chew to it as opposed to just being like a thick dumpling kind of thing. My other thought is that in order to even out the texture a little bit, not even it out, break it up a little, because right now the texture is very even, is I could make something to roll into the center of them, which would also be kind of fun.
Like a bean paste or something like that?
Maybe a bean paste. I was actually thinking, because of the flavor and the look of these, and I'm kind of trying to evoke like a springtime thing. I was kind of thinking like roasted like hazelnuts or something. Something that has like no real hardness to it, but there's a slight texture difference when you bite through it.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because the taste by itself is like, you get a slight bit of the egg, but it's just sort of a like a sweet dough kind of flavor. So I think that'll work. Anyway, that's my food project from midnight last night.
Oh boy. Well, they look really good. They look delicious.
Hopefully, they will be non-insulting for a birthday gift. Because I don't have time to do anything else.
I would take a rice ball. A rice dough ball.
If somebody said, hey, do you want a dough ball? My answer is almost always going to be absolutely.
Yes, please. In my mouth. In my mouth.
That's the way to do it.
Right now.
Immediately, please.
These are really good. How come we don't get any of the good Lay's flavors? Why?
So, I went on a weird adventure after I did a lot of my looking into things for podcast stuff, in which obviously you have moved into a new place, and I was like, what kind of garbage is on the internet to send to a new place? And one of the things I found is a very comprehensive site of just a fuck ton of different like Asian snacks that you can kind of build a cart out of to ship. It's not incredibly cheap though, and it's also more than that. See if I can actually find that tab in here somewhere. The other thing about it is that it's like so many flavors that are things that we should have and we just don't. And it's really a huge bummer, like knowing that a lot of that stuff, there's no chance that we will ever have access to it.
Why are we so weak as a country that we can't? They think that we can't handle the crawfish chips. They're like, we can't handle bidets. People lose their minds over bidets.
Yeah,
We
it's
can't have
true.
crawfish chips.
All the good things are unavailable to us in terms of that kind of shit. The right shit.
Mm-hmm.
God, I still have a pseudo-legal way to watch Hannibal on this phone's data, apparently.
Ooh. Pseudo legal.
Yeah.
I like that crazy.
God damn it. Why are my bookmarks so bad? Okay, well, that ain't gonna work.
These chips make me want to dance.
Oh, you weren't starting the Tiny Insect song. I thought maybe that was a radio clicking on. Anyway, they had a series of different like the standard stuff, like Kit Kats. That's always something you'll find a lot of, like bits and pieces in different websites that are like, hey, look at all the things that Japan has that you don't.
Yeah.
And those are like nice to look through, but they legitimately had a lot of other options of things that I don't even consider. Like, I better go try to find this stuff because I don't know that I'll ever see it again. And they definitely, like, they had that stuff. I will once I rediscover where that tab ended up, I will definitely send it your way. And then if we can find something worth it, we should definitely send ourselves some gifts.
I'm thinking
Because I
so.
think the podcast might need them.
Yeah. I think so.
Ugh.
We could do just a straight 3 hours of snack review.
Oh, I'm confident that we would have no problem doing a 3-hour snack review. That's pretty much that could be on my tombstone. 3-hour snack reviews. It's just an arrow pointing down.
Here lies 3-hour snack review.
And speech lessons in this hole.
That's me.
This coffee's become not very good, and I'm using it as a crutch to avoid digging into the shark tank.
It's dangerous.
Let's see. Let's not start off with a bummer. Did you have any topics that you wanted to get to specifically?
Well, as I've mentioned in my little snack corner, I went to a little Asian market. Well, it's actually quite big that Boise has now, which is cool. I guess it's kind of new in the last couple of years.
Okay.
But
new as of like 2018 kind of new, or?
Yeah, I think so. That's
okay.
I think about the time. New to me, I've never been there, but it's quite big, lots of snack and lots of I don't just so much food. I spent so much money.
Yeah.
Too much money.
Well, you got all that sweet free money coming your way.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That sweet $1,400. Yay.
Someday.
Maybe. Thanks, Biden?
I believe his name's Joe Biden.
Thanks, Joe Biden. A lot. Probably the things that I've been most excited about finding there have been pork belly, which
That's a good find.
was very good. Enoki mushrooms, because I cannot get enough of those in my life
Yep.
ever. Oh, and I will be letting you know how this goes later this evening when I make it for dinner. But I have a package of ramen that is cheese flavored. So
Hmm.
we'll be giving that a try. I also got a instant package of, I think they're called duckbucky and duckbucky. I don't know. They're like rice cakes, basically, but
Okay.
it was just a little plastic container full of rice cakes and like a gochujang sauce, and they were very spicy, and I cried,
Excellent.
but it was really good, and um,
Yep.
yeah, totally worth it. I got a lot of like, I got way too much snack food, so I think I'll be featuring some very good snacks for at least the next couple of episodes.
You have to snack up. Like that's part of living in a space is figuring out what kind of snacks you can store for how
Got
long.
to snack. We do. I would say that I think I have landed the perfect roommate. Not to brag, but we
If
do have.
your various stories and whatnot have been any indication, it seems like it's in that direction.
I I've sent you and everybody else I know to brag about this a picture of some ridiculous focaccia bread.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If it
That
hurts you.
focaccia bread that was really good. She did eat all of the tomatoes off the top of it though. That was,
Well, did she make it?
yeah, but still.
That's just asserting dominance. That's a good
I
first
mean,
move.
hey, I ate the tomatoeless focaccia and I was fine with it, but just saying, could have been better with the tomatoes for sure.
The last C is silent.
Mm. Focat, focaccia, focaccia. hmm
Mm.
Um, but we do have a dedicated drawer in our kitchen just to Asian market snack food. All of our Asian everything. Our MSG lives there. Our green tea lives there. Our um,
You
my cheese ramen lives there.
guys got the matcha powder,
We do.
uh, sencha powder. What kind of powders you got in there?
I don't know what I know we have matcha powder, but I've actually never done like matcha tea like the traditional way, even though I do have the whisk, but she's gonna
Uh,
teach me how to do it.
that shit's good,
I'm looking forward
and
to
it
it.
will make your mouth green-ish, which I enjoy. This Wednesday is what Animal Crossing has been telling me it's Shamrock Day, so that's
Huh?
probably a good day for it.
Yeah, I think you're right. That would be a good day. Very appropriate. But um I've been very excited to find in the Asian market here. It's a little more like um, a little more grocery store vibe than the ones I've visited in Spokane. Those are
Okay.
a little more like rough around the edges. Not that doesn't really bother me, but this one's a little more like grocery store. But
I'm a huge fan of a lot of Asian markets move into old defunct markets.
hmm
And the one I used to live next to, they just had like a dead zone that like all of the market was in the middle, and then around the edges was like, I don't know, we'll put something here. And it was different all the time, and it was some weird shit sometimes. And I found a uh very modestly priced hot pot and a bunch of other stuff
Ooh,
at that place just by going into the zone, finding some artifacts. That was pretty good.
yeah. There seems to be in just about every Asian market I go into, there seems to be like a corner that they're not really sure what they're going to do with it.
Mhm.
So it's just like random storage, or like it's just dark for some reason in this corner.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it, but
The
it's
dark corner that has like a bunch of cleaning supplies that look like they could either be for sale or not.
yeah. Just a stack of like packages of rice, kind of up to your knee. Not a lot, just some.
Enough to be
Enough
suspicious.
to maybe be purchasable, but we're not sure really. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that vibe. That's a good vibe. And yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with the Asian market food. What else am I planning on making tonight? I purchased some mini buns that are pork and leek.
Okay.
And I have never had dumplings with leek in them before, I don't think.
Leek's
And
good.
I don't think I've ever had leek, actually.
I used to make leek as a base for mushroom soups and things. It's a good flavor. It's a mild,
Yes.
oniony flavor.
Hi. Can you say hi to the podcast? Yeah, you can say hi to the podcast. Wait. Oh, Charlie's here. We have a couple of guests. Charlie, you're on.
Let me get my drink.
Hi.
Howdy.
This is Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
Hello.
How's it going?
My co-podcaster.
They can't hear me.
No, they can't.
Well, hi, Charlie and Jenny.
Yes. He
Okay.
says hi, Charlie and Jenny.
Hi. I'm Madison's roommate. I brought you some really good wine. I opened the one King gave us.
Oh boy, thank you. Oh, see, I told you, best roommate, perfect roommate.
Hey,
Yes.
this doesn't have to be a
Say hi.
roommate
Thank
fight.
you for the card.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he says yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Very important, very
Yeah.
deliberate card.
Yeah, it took a few reads throughs to understand what was kind of happening. But
Yeah.
okay, bye, Charlie.
Man, Mom Corner has evolved.
I know. It's kind of a rotating cast of people now. I wasn't expecting. That's it's funny.
The that whole thing. I did tip the people who both wrote the stuff for that and delivered the stuff for that. So
Yeah, I feel like I don't have it in here, but I would like to include a picture or something of the message that was sent to my door the other day with flowers by Jesse. Well,
oh yeah,
was it Mr. Brickles?
Mr. Brickle. Yeah,
Okay.
Brickle is a fake Mortal Kombat character that has the old Windows brick pattern instead of a colored outfit. That's an inside joke for two people, and you're not one of them.
Oh, good.
Now you are, but yeah, that has been an inside joke for like a decade of like nobody.
Okay, I'm glad I was reading it correctly. I was like, not totally sure. When Jenny came home and saw the note out in the flowers, I was doing my own thing in my room. Just read it, and she was a little bit frightened.
Yeah, no, it's a frightening note.
It was kind of menacing, but I explained it, and then she's like, "Oh, that's really funny."
No, that was actually a big part of having to include things like a happy birthday balloon was
Oh yeah.
getting the point across to anybody who might take a look at this that don't worry, I know.
Don't worry about it.
It's a joke.
It's all part of the plan. The balloon also scared her because she was like, "Oh my god, did I forget your birthday?" I know, and I should have said yes. I should have been like,
Yeah.
yes, and I'm incredibly disappointed.
You could have gotten
Birthday girl,
a
you know.
focaccia's tomato topping
I-
out of that. I guarantee
yeah.
you.
I could have. Dang
Yeah,
it.
you fucked up.
I fucked up. Well, oh well. She brought me wine in a mug.
I was gonna say this doesn't have to be a roommate fight, but my roommate made a Seattle dog lunch today.
Ooh,
Mm.
that is a strong contender for best roommate.
Yeah. So the roommate fights have begun, but they're only going to last for a couple more months. So then you win.
All right. Well, may the best roommate win. It'll be mine.
Yeah, probably.
No, I'm kidding, Nick. We like it a lot.
He'll console himself with his Seattle dogs and whatnot. We also have like coconut marshmallows and some other stuff from yesterday. There's lots of consoling. I'm sure he'll be okay.
Okay, good.
And of course, some of these guys.
Those are good for consoling.
I still have to figure out how to. I don't know. I feel like transporting these is going to be a huge shit show, but we'll see.
Well, perhaps. They look pretty. Are they kind of sticky a little bit?
A tiny bit. But they have sesame seeds, or sorry, I guess they're white sesame seeds.
Yeah.
They have white sesame seeds, and they also have. I very lightly powdered them with a tiny bit of potato starch just to keep them from sticking to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they should be fine. I don't think they're going to like meld into one thing. But if something compresses on them, they will absolutely like get fucked up. So I just have to discover a small enough container for them to keep them kind of just close enough.
Just all comfy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Well, they're very cute. It's a very nice aesthetic.
Visually, I like how they turned out quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Taste-wise, I think they turned out well, but I think I'm going to try some stuff with them. How's the nose on that wine?
This wine is funky. Okay, this is gonna sound really, really horrible, and it's not that bad, but the smell reminds me of cat piss.
Okay, can you huff it? Yeah, aerate it.
It's just like it's like for the briefest second when I first smell it, it's like, oh, piss, but then it's fine.
I think I know what you mean.
And it doesn't taste bad, but
I wonder what a sommelier would call that piss smell.
How are you supposed to taste wine? Are you supposed to like swish it in your mouth?
You're supposed to snort the fumes. Well, you're supposed to swish it around and then huff it, and then you take like a light sip, and then you aerate it in your mouth, and then normally you would either swallow it or spit it out, depending on if you're planning on drinking or not. It's kind of the same way you taste coffee, stuff like that.
Interesting.
I think
That's so weird.
The best way to actually taste things, though, is to just drink them and then get used to them and try and figure out why you like them. But I guess their job is to be fast and somewhat succinct, so, you know. Now, if I were to do that with this...
I think you probably just killed around 50 brain cells doing that.
This tastes like gummy shark.
Well,
blue raspberry icy from a theater.
Okay.
And I think whiskey that I added to it is the only thing that I really like the flavor of in here. I do have one other drink today, though, which is some mint mojito lime coconut probiotic drink.
That
which
sounds very good.
I believe is supposed to be no, it's just a probiotic drink. I originally thought that it was kombucha, but it is a kefir-based thing.
Mm.
But I mean, still good.
I
Well,
like kefir and both kombucha.
I think I'll get into that later, maybe. Well, no, maybe I'll get into that first. So, did you hear about Jack Dorsey selling his first tweet?
Is this having to do with that NFT
Yeah.
bull honk? No.
Bull honk.
Bull honk.
So Jack Dorsey was selling his first tweet for a bunch of money. I want to say an artist sold some crypto art recently for like several $1 million, like in the last week or so. Crypto art is sort of like a thing. If you go a few episodes back, I actually, unfortunately, kind of,
You predicted this.
yeah, beat this to the news cycle with the fucking what is essentially this turning art into a stock market and using like a crypto security kind of thing with that. It's a real bummer. I hate it. And now that I have, so one of the artists that I know from Seattle who recently moved to the Midwest to have a kid, 1000. He used to own the gallery Statics in Seattle, where I've had like half of my shows in the last handful of years. He's cool. He's a dork, but like an art dork, and that's basically what I am too. So I like his opinions on things. I like his sort of refusal to give up on like early thousands hyphy culture. I like all of that stuff. And recently, he was getting into crypto art. You can actually find a video on this at I think he just has it under like 10 hun on YouTube now that he's doing like remote life. Good timing, by the way. I talked to him right before he moved, and it was like the end of 2019. So he actually got out of the city and started an online business at exactly the right time.
Yeah, that's good timing.
It does mean that gallery closed down, but it probably would have anyway, unfortunately, because the last year has been good at that. Anyway, so he kind of tipped me off to some crypto art stuff being not so good. He did a video on it. It's one of his most recent. He kind of starts off talking about like the non-fungible token stuff, all of that. A lot of like very low level bullshit economics that are like fine, but all of these tech bros are now like, this is the future. And unfortunately, it might be if we want to destroy the entire planet in the process. So hopefully that's not the plan, because it seems to be at the moment. And the thing that I didn't realize going into it, because like cryptocurrency has been sort of a joke forever. Wait, hold on a second. I just got a Pops message. Okay. Let me interrupt this real quick for a special Pops secret segment in which I just got a message asking if I just got a text where my mother and Apple are talking and it's coming over his phone too. That is the most parent text I have ever seen. I'm just going to say nope. So anyway, the issue with crypto art is that a lot of people, same with like cryptocurrencies, aren't really talking about the amount of energy it uses. And the amount of energy it uses is extreme. and like there was something like over the lifetime of like a single piece of crypto art. I want to say and I'm not gonna bring up there's like he actually has links to a bunch of articles off his video, and he talks about some of it. But I think just real basic is fine for some of this. The amount of energy it takes, because it is a process based on okay, whatever. It is a process based on using computers to like really like drill into something. Like you're having to make computers solve for problems that are at the limit of their like processing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the whole point of crypto stuff. That's essentially the cost that you're putting into the worth of what you have. Like calling things non-fungible tokens is fine, but at a certain point, it's just because you ignore the actual cost of it. And the actual cost of it is it's like one piece of crypto art is roughly causing the amount of energy drain that like I think the amount was like 40 years of somebody's average living. It's like a lot.
That's insane.
The sudden uptick in people being like very pro a lot of this stuff because it seems like a thing that's outside the government or like outside of like a lot of rules is kind of not great, because I'm all for having like I don't know, like a barter system of some kind in places where that's appropriate, because like there's no reason why you and like somebody else need to make money off each other. You can have business to business interactions and all that stuff, but like generally speaking, if you make something, it is very simple to just trade those things. That's fine. At the same time, if the cost of, say, getting really good shave ice at a street fair is having to then like deforest a huge amount of something, it's probably not worth it. And the problem with these things taking years and years of the average person's like energy expenditures, I want to say like for further reference, it was like 100 and some years of like running a laptop. Like it was some ridiculous amount of like energy being used, and the sort of blowback of using that much energy is that places that produce that energy are going to be impacted by those types of things. Like
Mm-hmm.
in the same way that at a very, very minute amount, leaving your lights on during the day while you're not at home does the same kind of stuff, but way, way, way less. Like a light barely uses energy, where something like processing as hard as you can on a computer that's got a kitted out system is very different. Like it's the other reason besides keeping your computer lasting a long time that you need to close that shit down when you're not at home and stuff.
Right.
So essentially it is spreading the usage of computers into being power that's more like a server bank and things like that are already not really sort of monitored enough by the government or by, you know, places that should maybe be more concerned with our like general energy usage. Also combined, and he touches on this in his video, combined with the fact that China is one of the big places for doing these processes. And like, I have no problem with China, like in a very direct way, but
Mm-hmm.
they do have a lot of coal power still. And you have to take into account that if the place where a large percentage of this is getting done is being run off of coal power, your CO2 is way increased over what a lot of other things are like producing. Yeah. Anyway, so while it is a thing that could potentially make a lot of money for an amount of effort that to an artist, I will say, like, fine arts, when you're using a computer, there's a lot of upsides. There's, like anything that is upsides, there's a huge startup cost to having a good system that can do good work. And selling a JPEG or a TIFF for, I think they're mostly JPEGs for size, online, you're gonna be making a lot more money off of something that you can, crypto produce to be like unique without being all that, like, I don't know, important, I guess. Like, it's a very attractive way to make money.
Yeah.
But it requires you to somewhat have a following. It requires you to have an expensive system. It's essentially another way for people who already are probably making enough money to do okay to make a lot more money while simultaneously using a fuck ton of energy that kind of needs to go towards other things. And that's frustrating. Usually when things like this pick up, you see a larger percentage of people kind of talking about the negatives. And I feel like this has been frustratingly positive on a lot of people's end. So I just want to make sure that we talk a little bit about it, because like crypto art, even just the name of it sounds interesting, at least. And there's a lot of like older websites and stuff, like there's some Russian artists who have been doing online art due to like resource use and stuff like that. Absolutely not crypto art, like not stuff that's like unique or encoded or anything like that. Just interesting online experimental stuff. And I think that stuff is really cool. And I think honestly, something like crypto art picking up is encouraging the free share of the internet, like the idea of the internet being a place where you can kind of like put work out there and not necessarily have it there to earn you anything back.
Right.
It's kind of damaging some of that like structure that has been a really good thing for the internet at the times that the internet has been a benefit. But anyway, that is sort of my weird. I'll probably be following along with this stuff for a while. It's doesn't really seem like it's going to slow down, and it doesn't seem like something that people are going to be frustrated about for a while until it becomes a bigger deal. But like crypto art very directly could lead to a lot of greenhouse gases and deforestation, all kinds of shit, just on its own, because it is very energy expensive. Same thing, like looking into this, I hadn't really realized it before, but it did lessen my opinion even more of cryptocurrency, because it's the same shit. And it is absolutely another way for rich people to get richer off of using a huge amount of energy to pay that. Which I don't think anybody should be encouraging at this point.
No, I did see one. Well, Halsey has been putting out. She actually just started a makeup line, but I did see a story of hers on Instagram the other day advertising an NFT art collection that she had put together. And I was kind of just like, why do you need to do this?
Yeah, I think the most disappointing thing culturally for me is that this has hit a lot of people who are trying to do art and just don't want to look into it. It kind of has that feeling of like, you can look online and see what all of the fucking recycling numbers are and how you deal with them. And people don't, because like, it's so much work. And like, I have to feel bad about what I put in the recycling. I'm not doing that. And it's all there. You can just fucking look it up. And I think this is going to be similar. People are just going to like, the most annoying thing is that I guarantee there's going to be crypto artists out there who make like $20 off of these and are like, I mean, I'm getting started. And the idea of letting go of some of this stuff for that little money and still having that amount of like energy usage is just It's like the artists who get into abstract art and just pour paint onto a canvas without any real idea of what they're doing, and then you end up with these ugly, like not really very sellable paintings that have used like 100 paintings worth of paint for any other like trained artist, and it's just
Yeah.
sitting in a place, oftentimes sitting in a gallery because those people know people or they wouldn't still be doing it.
Mhm.
And like, it's a bummer. Anyway, crypto art is shit. If you are getting into NFTs, maybe don't. They're
Maybe
not that
don't.
interesting. Get into photography instead.
Oh
Photography is
yeah, highly
pretty.
recommend. Highly recommend that. Photography is also just a really good life skill to have. Being able to
Yep.
take a good picture is just something that everyone should be able to do at this point
Yeah.
in our lives, or this
Uh,
point in time, is very important.
Everything from a phone to fairly cheap digital cameras, like all of that shit. You can take great pictures. You can
Hmm.
do cool shit with them, and you can be useful with them. Uh, I mean, even if you just want to take stock photos, that is a great way to do things.
Yeah,
Um, oh.
exactly.
Hey, I yell into the internet. What problems do billionaires have?
Are they sad?
uh, from Tony Roman, published author and screenplay writer, list of problems that billionaires have.
Oh God.
Number 1, billionaires have the same problems as everyone else. However, they can get staff to handle many of those problems for them. Okay, that's nice.
Great.
Kidnappers. Few kidnappers bother kidnapping poor people for ransom.
Never thought of that perk before. Oh wait.
Extortion and blackmail attempts. Paparazzi and other privacy invaders. Number 5, the Bible says, money answereth all things. I think a case can be made that some people waste money.
It. Okay.
Number 6, how do we raise the children? Only a few billionaires have figured this out.
Oh God. Only a
Number
few.
7, poor people and others think that they have a right to hit you up for money. Number 1 on the list of problems that this person wrote also, that more money won't solve, is blasphemy.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
The cultural pandemic that is blasphemy.
Also, they note that blasphemy in secular terms translates as lack of respect for tradition, to which I say, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Also, money can't solve certain health problems. Money can't solve love. Money can't solve wisdom. And money can't solve being literal. Government can print too much money. This person, I am frustrated that they are published doing anything because this is a list of garbage. However, something that this reminded me of that is really just a shitty rabbit hole to go down that I definitely got pulled into was money answereth all things. Because I've read the Bible a handful of times, you know, with varying levels of sobriety involved. And money answereth all things is not like a tenet of
That's.
anything.
I don't even know where. Do you know what he's referencing?
I do, because I went and looked it up.
Okay, good.
The it's from Ecclesiastes 10:19. Let me find a thing on that. Which, like, in greater context is also, that's not, it's part of a larger block, and that block is basically saying you can buy food and drink and it'll make you happy and healthy, but having money can provide both of those things. It's essentially, in Bible terms, saying, like, if you give everybody worth, they can accumulate what they need, as opposed to just, like, it. Honestly, it's kind of refuting the idea that the church should be handling all of this stuff in modern terms.
Weird.
But it's also, of course, translated as, but the money is right.
But give me the money, please.
I noticed that I didn't have a lot of ducats when I was just trying to help out systems to help people. Anyway,
it's a problem.
So in looking for more context to 1019 out of Ecclesiastes, I found all of the different ways that the verse, and so there's a Bible Hub website. You can look at it or not. I like websites like this because some of the info they have is fantastic. They took the verse that this is from and just copied down the verse from all of the different Bibles that have been printed.
Ooh.
And they do that for, it looks like, most of every Bible. And in looking through this, it is pretty revealing the amount of change that's done to everything. Like, if you didn't already know that the Bible that you have, no matter what Bible it is not the original Bible, nor is it probably very similar in most ways.
Are there any particularly bad?
This verse, there's some revealing stuff, I guess. In this particular verse, the English Standard Version has it as, bread is made for laughter, wine gladdens life, and money answers everything. However, in the New American Standard Bible, it lists it as, people prepare a meal for enjoyment, wine makes life joyful, and money is the answer to everything. Literally a different meaning of what money is entirely.
Yeah.
However, the New American Standard Bible is really revealing in its so that translation that I just read is I believe the current version that I think was somewhere in the 90s it came out or something. So there's a version from, or probably after 2000 based on this. There's a version from the 70s in which the version that they wrote was, men, italicized, prepare a meal for enjoyment, and wine makes life merry, and money is the answer to everything. In 1995, it was changed for the New American Standard Bible to say, men, non-italicized, prepare a meal for enjoyment, and wine makes life merry, and money is the answer to everything. The new version has italicized again, people, prepare a meal. So just this weird, slight bit of adjustment to make it maybe seem like the Bible is not translated out to be quite so patriarchal. Weirdly enough, almost every other version of this verse does not have a gender attached to anything. Only the New American Standard one. The English Bible had, or New Heart English Bible had, a feast is made for laughter. For Young literal translation, or Young's, sorry, they have, for mirth they are making a feast. And it doesn't mention money, it mentions silver, which is also a thing that a lot of these translations have instead. Anyway, so I guess the point is, the Bible sucks. Like, the idea of reading the Bible and thinking it hasn't gone through at least as many translations per amount of time as something like a Grimm's fairy tale is kind of nuts. This version, just on the front page, has over 20 translations, and they're all English translations. So, like, there's plenty of other translations to find for this. Oh, the further you get down into this, the more the shark is, like, the majority of what's in the cup. Oh, man. Also, the Dewey Reams Bible, for laughter they make bread, and wine that the living may feast, and all things obey money. I think if that were the translation that we used, it might have a slightly different connotation.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
kind of think so.
I got annoyed and started looking this shit up specifically because in looking through a bunch of the internet for seeing what people said rich people's problems are, or why rich people have hard lives, all of that kind of shit. What I ended up finding was much, much more centered around this specific Bible verse. And a lot of people are just very into the idea that at this one point in the Bible they read, God apparently said that money is in some fashion everything. So that means they should be allowed to do whatever they want, which is cool. Now, the thing I wasn't expecting as I went through this was I started finding various links popping up for a number of things. So let's see. The final week. Judas was sitting on the bench. His robes were pushed over his shoulders as his savior left butterfly-like kisses on his neck and chest.
Ew.
Judas watched Jesus' head continue to trail down his body.
No.
He felt his member twitch with anticipation as Jesus looked up at him with his big brown eyes. Do you like that?
Ew.
Jesus whispered. So
Jesus, no.
Jesus, no.
Jesus, no.
Also, I ended up finding. God, it says throbbing a lot in this. I'm not gonna read it, all of it.
But it sounds really good.
Does it? One of the last lines is, well, it would be a sin to waste God's gift. Judas winked at
No,
Silver.
never mind. I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. So, I found a story that was a letter from the boy in Bridge to Terabithia to Jesus. That was like an alternate ending somebody wrote for it about the sister.
Okay.
So, I guess what I'm saying is there's a weird crossover of people who are defenders of money also being very pro some weird Jesus shit that I think
could have seen that coming.
Yeah, could have seen that coming. Oh man. Well, Chris likes physics. Chris likes Minecraft. Chris likes basketball. But most of all, Chris likes Jesus. He spent his time talking to his best bud Shrek about him. Shrek gave him advice. He said, Jesus is like an onion. He won't say yes to homecoming unless you ask him in the right layer. Shrek was also high. Chris sighed and patted Shrek's shoulder. Okay, bud. Chris got up from the bench he was sitting on and went to ask another friend for advice. He went to go find the wisest student in the school, and he walked around. He noticed Jesus talking to Peppa Pig. Chris sighed. He was just too beautiful.
This person needs to log off forever. They need
Beyonce.
Their internet privileges revoked.
What about the Judas blowjob? Is that person okay to be on the internet?
Yeah, they can say he's fine.
Okay. That one gets pretty wet and wild. I did send the rougher parts to Natalie of Natalie's Shady Fiction Warehouse. So.
That is the correct place for that to go.
Yeah.
It's important.
Anyway, I don't think people are reading the Bible good. I guess that's my conclusion.
I wish I
maybe
could read the Bible like that person reads the Bible who wrote the Jesus fanfic.
I don't think you'd ever make it all the way through. You'd probably only make it a handful of minutes. I mean, if you want to read the Bible that way, you can. You're gonna need one of those
Just
things to hold the
steeped
book
in
open.
sexual tension the entire
Yeah.
time.
Oh. So I went from there, and I ended up seeing a bunch of Prager shit because, of course, I did.
Yeah.
In incognito, and they are super, super hard up on the idea that Jesus actually really loved money. And that's exactly in line with all of this thinking. They make
That's
a big
such
point.
a
They make a big
weird
point
hill to die on.
in PragerU that Jesus would have been a capitalist. He never would have been a socialist, which I think is insane. They say that the only reason he got mad at the money changers was because they were doing it near a holy area, and he actually wanted them to be doing it like we do it here in America. It's just a bunch of shit about how Jesus was actually like deep into like uh, deep into American economics, apparently.
Jesus is the OG patriot.
Yeah, Jesus would have showed up with a fucking "Don't tread on me" fanny pack full of shotgun bullets, and been telling people about, I don't know, how they need to bury gold in their yard. They literally, in the Prager video, they talk about how Jesus wanted people to have and exchange money. He was just really upset when people would bury money, which is also frustrating because literally the people who are way into like PragerU type shit are the let's buy gold and bury it in our yard people. Like they're almost calling out their own audience in that video and just being like, but nobody would ever do this. Well, literally, you could make an easy transition to like how rich people treat money, where they just bury it in a hole and no one else can ever use it. Like that's even in looking at that part of the Bible and translating it poorly, they are actively saying what they're doing is against it. Yet they're trying to say that Jesus is like really into fucking
the ultimate capitalist.
Yeah, the Wolf of Jesus Street. It's it fucking sucks.
If you look closely at the guy from Monopoly, it's actually Jesus.
That's actually, you don't see a lot of pictures of Jesus after he died, but that's what it looked like.
That's what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He got real fat.
Colonel Sanders, actually Jesus.
Also, Chicken Jesus. Yep.
Yep.
Have you ever seen that clip of Colonel Sanders talking about like how much shit he had? He's on like a talk show talking about like pooping too much. I
have never. No. Did it have anything to do with the food, or was he just on there really upset about his?
He was literally just an incredibly old man on like a late night show kind of thing.
I mean, I kind of really like that then.
Talking about how like I forget, it was like I had to punch my dookie down a toilet with a stick or something like that. Like it's like just the most like, why is this old man on this show? And also like what?
Just recounting his BMs to the to the audience.
Proud self-appointed colonel.
Yep.
Also, did you know that ICE had a union?
No.
Yeah. You know why ICE can't be actually like easily disbanded by like the president and shit, or like effectively defunded and all that shit? Is because ICE just has a union. They just let them have a union.
Oh yeah. Well, great.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that should be.
That's also along those lines. That's why after Biden was like, well, we're gonna like fix all of our like deportations and stuff like that, and we're gonna close down these centers. The ICE union and associated judges and stuff just vetoed it. Like they just, nah, we're not going to do that. So
Cool.
anybody who's out there saying the president has too much power when it comes to like, I don't know, socializing everything, they can go fuck themselves, because apparently it's literally ICE and police that have too much power. Aside from the police already practically deciding like who gets to be mayor in different towns, now apparently ICE can decide whether or not we're going to change our policies towards other countries. It seems like a wild overstep of power for a like what is essentially a shitty police force.
No. It's, labor equality is incredibly important, but mostly when the labor is separating children from families and just fucking their shit up all day long.
Well, I already talked about this with some other people, but I do think it's worth noting for people who are talking about like we should just be, especially if you're centrist and happen to be watching this, when you're talking about keeping things sort of like Democrat, capitalist, like the way America's always worked, dealing with this stuff, the idea of releasing people from like the detention camps and the like holding camps and stuff that we have them in, it's worth noting that we literally don't have any path to do that unless we provide benefits for these people to like be able to live somewhere and be able to get medical assistance, or else they're literally just pouring them out into wherever they can go. I don't mean that like, oh, they'll go get a job and it'll work out. I mean that like there's nothing for them. Like you just sort of empty out these places and they're stuck. They literally need government assistance if they're going to like be able to live a life and build up to anything. And the problem with that is that as soon as you do that for these people in these centers that especially Republicans are claiming are like violent criminals and shit, that is going to be held up as like a reason why we need even tougher everything. So literally the only path forward, if you actually care about people who are being detained against their will from other countries for no reason, is building in a system kind of like we've had during the pandemic that just says we need to take care of people who are in trouble. Because we have to have that for everybody before our shitty government is going to allow that to be for people who aren't from here and shit like that.
Yeah.
It is one of the clearest versions of capitalism not working that I have seen. And it feels like, much like crypto art, people may know that, but they don't really want to talk about that very much. So something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind, which I will say is 0% related, probably, is, the guy who made Garfield Eats and that kind of, like, it exists, but the store kind of closed down and stuff.
Yeah.
His name is Nathan Mosry. He's a real piece of shit and a real goblin. He's weird. You can find him online. There's a new... That is actually... That sound from the other room is the perfect exclamation. There's a new... oh, fuck, what they call it? Entergaging app food experience coming to you. Do you want to know what it is?
Yes.
Would you like to get online and check out Scooby-Doo Eats?
Oh, no. Why?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do it. Scooby-Doo Eats. Good Lord.
Fully endorsed by Warner Brothers. It is a, like, yet another, just like Paws Inc. with Garfield Eats, Scooby-Doo Eats. Yes, A+, we love it. We love your failed business. Also, still sells lasagna. You know Scooby-Doo's favorite food, lasagna. While
Yeah,
he's sitting in a
that
lasagna
makes
pan.
sense. And Angus burgers raised without antibiotics.
Yeah, hamburgers and hot dogs. That's the only difference, is that now you can get shipped to you frozen hamburgers and hot dogs. Yep.
There's a
So
Scooby subscription.
I
This says,
believe
stop meddling around and sign up today to subscribe, get snacks, points, perks, and never miss out on special events and discounts. Rutro Raggy.
I believe love me, feed me, don't leave me is still the motto for that shit. Still just the most desperate, terrifying motto for food. So if anybody thought, man, Garfield eats, I would love to have some Garfuccino in my mouth, but it's just so fancy. Well, now you have Scooby-Doo eats as an option for, I would guess, the next year until that fails as well.
Why are they doing this?
Why is one man doing this? one like rich dude from Dubai is doing this. So Nathan Mosry, in looking at some of that shit, he also now has a YouTube channel called Mosry Pictures, and he's trying to get into like film.
Oh.
And that I wish this was a more multimedia thing, but we need to take some time in the future and really just look at his fine work. He is not an actor. One of the best things that I ended up watching is he has a Ask Nathan Mosry 50 questions, which is absolutely his dad or his friend on the other side of the camera walking around his like house that he's renting and
like the Vogue ones that they do.
Yep.
Oh god,
and he's acting in it for sure, and it's terrible. Like it's absolutely god awful. Like he stumbles over his own lines that he clearly wrote several times, and he's doing it while also trying to act like the snootiest, most important person ever. And it's like peak cringe, and you're gonna have to see it is the problem.
I'm having a hard time dealing with the cringe just hearing about it.
Yeah. That's just gonna have to happen. I know that sometimes it's uncomfortable, the art that we do here, but
it's worth it. It's worth it for the
yeah. Yeah.
For something. For something.
It's definitely worth it. I don't know what's worth it, but it is worth it.
It is.
Yeah.
That's what we know.
Scooby-Doo Eats feels like it should be the culmination of the joke that Garfield Eats was starting, but it seems like it's not. It seems like he's going to keep doing that until it succeeds.
What do you think is next?
Garfield and Scooby-Doo, what comes after that? I don't know. I don't think he could get like a Porky Pig. Maybe he can get like a what's Flintstones. That seems like the direction I could go. But Flintstones Eats, can he send frozen ribs to people? Is that where that's going to
He's sending frozen burgers and steaks to people.
God, I would kill for a frozen hot dog.
Why? Like, why does he think? This hot dog picture is like trying way too hard.
Yeah, that's not what you're getting. Absolutely.
Who puts lettuce on their hot dog?
Serial killers.
Okay, yeah, that checks out. But they do have 24-hour overnight delivery, in case anyone was wondering.
Well, I do often think I would love a hot dog tomorrow. So
now
that's good to know.
I'm curious to see these. That is a lot of sodium. Wow.
Oh.
Oh.
How's the nutrition on the lasagna?
Let's take a look, shall we? The big cow lasagna.
Is that what it's called?
Yup. Big cow. Also, I like how they've characterized the genre of food as fast gourmet.
Oh, fuck off.
Okay,
Fast
here we go.
casual is also dumb enough. Fast gourmet is nothing.
The lasagna is 430 calories, 430 milligrams of sodium. That's a lot.
Plenty. Yeah.
Seems like a lot.
Seeing plenty of videos now of people eating those lasagnas too, that's not the right. If that should be health food based on how bad that looks.
People have ordered it and posted videos of eating it.
They sure have.
Oh, I want to see that.
The easiest place to go for you or anybody else, Strange Eons or Aeons did 3 videos, I think, of Garfield Eats, and the last one is after the store closed, ordering the lasagna from the store. So you get to see the packaging and the kind of like website changes they made, but also you get to see the interior of the lasagna.
The
things
unboxing.
Like that. It looks like somebody
cow
took a
lasagna.
bunch of noodles and just kind of flopped them into a frozen dish.
Here's your big cow lasagna.
And I want to say they're like $10 a piece, which in American money is still probably like $7, which is too much for a single serving
Of
of
lasagna.
Yeah.
That's fast gourmet.
It's not though. Well, so I had a question I wanted to ask because I was thinking a lot about money lately.
Indeed.
I'm sure we both are, as usual, in some fashion. And not just being jealous of rich people like we usually are. So
they have a lot of problems, haven't you heard?
Well, that's actually what socialists are, is people who are jealous of rich people.
Yeah.
Because everybody naturally hates everybody else. That's actually Jesus said that.
It's it just happens to be that my jealousy of rich people seems to manifest in the form of being scared to ever get hurt, because if I get a hospital bill, I'm fucked.
Right, but what's this?
Weird.
I read an account of somebody. Jesus sucked him off. Is that also a part of being a capitalist?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, I'll have to think about it.
Okay.
So, I was really curious about. I think we've determined, especially in America, but everywhere, once you get a lot of money, you turn into a piece of shit. Unless you put a whole lot of energy somewhere else and really focus on using that money for something that's like specifically important or something. Even the people who are doing the best job, the fucking like guy who is trying to like raise awareness of like how policies need to change and stuff in Washington, that he looks kind of like Jesus, honestly. That guy is fine. But he also is like still rich. So like there is a certain part of me that's like, I appreciate like doing a lot of things to make sure workers are taken care of. I appreciate the mouthpiece stuff. I am kind of curious like how long that'll last before it's like, and also I'm doing this on the side. But seeing that when you get enough money to not have to worry about money at all anymore, or when you get enough money to feel like you in some way are different from the people around you, you turn into a piece of shit. I would love to know, in your mind, what kind of asshole would you turn into if you just had unlimited money? Because I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, what if I had unlimited money, and every time I do that thought exercise, I end up at, I would hate me. I would turn into a piece of shit eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. How would my shittiness manifest? That is hard to figure out. I
I
know.
think. Oh, for me, one of the things that I have thought about for a long time. This isn't a new like revelation, but this is just a general thing.
Mhm.
I am a huge fan of like uh, just art from around the world, basically. And if I got unlimited money, there is a real danger that I could convince myself it was okay to basically start collecting things from like everywhere. Because
And
I
have a
mean, obviously,
collection.
I would keep them safe.
Right.
Obviously, it's not like I would turn into a British museum over time. Not
No.
like that at all. It's just I know what the worth of these things are, and I would be able to do it right.
Well,
And
and you
then,
appreciate them more than other people
yeah,
do. Hmm.
and I could provide jobs for people, right? I could take
Yeah.
these things from other countries and other cultures and put them on display, and then other people could walk around and like make sure nobody does anything to them. It's
Right. Hmm.
it's
And then you could charge
not
money
the
for people to
worst.
have that experience.
And like once you're charging money for it, I mean I could just use that income and then I'm like not even making that much, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, that's one of the many ways that I could turn into a piece of shit, having a lot of
You
money.
think you'd start a horrible museum?
I think that I think that a lot of museums probably start with somebody who has good intentions, and as soon as it's like a generation past that person, you can start to get into some dicey territory. One of the only places I've ever seen do it well is the Fry in Seattle, and
Mm.
that's because they didn't get any kind of artifacts. They didn't get any kind of like they didn't collect masks. They didn't collect anything like that. All they did was buy personal collection that a lot of rich people have hidden away in their own homes. And when they died, their hidden away collection in their own home, they literally said like, look, just all of this stuff needs to be free for everybody to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
That's the only way I think you can do it, and it can't be other people's stuff. It has to be stuff you bought for you, and now it exists as like this is just our collection. Um, that I think is fine, but it's such a fine line, and I don't. The things I like are so Picasso-esque. Like Picasso's collection is very like his old collection of stuff is somewhat problematic. Like I don't have a problem like you can know people and you can get individual pieces from different people, but like at a certain point, especially with like online like industries and things like that, that's just not how people are going to collect ever. Um, having like a conscientious like friend artwork coming in. And a lot of people who collect are literally people who don't have anything to trade, so that can be uh, less likely to have that kind of like curation
Mm.
involved.
Well,
Um,
I have an idea. Why don't we digitize all of it?
ooh, that could be
Yeah.
good.
Ooh.
I don't see any problems there. That's just
No.
digital work.
Yeah.
I'll get a
It
bunch of
lives
projectors.
forever.
I'll project them out onto the walls.
Mm. That's just as fun.
Come to my crypto gallery. It only cost 100 people's lifetime of energy usage per show.
It costs one one rainforest,
Yeah, that should be fine.
give or take. Yeah.
Um, I also think there's I think that for me personally, the idea of having a lot of money would slowly meld into the idea of me like um, kind of becoming weirdly secluded. And I don't think that would be good for anybody. I mean, it might be good for people to not be around me once I turn into a piece of shit, but
Yeah. I could see you building a very large castle in the middle of a forest or something.
a very horrifying and maybe not the most livable space, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I
No,
could
totally.
um I think I would probably become a very obnoxious influencer-esque personality if I had unlimited money.
I think about the packages of advertisement you could buy and stuff like that. Like you could be everywhere.
And yeah. I would probably become some sort of really insufferable food, like travel blogger or something
Uh,
like that. Yeah, that's probably how that would go.
that's definitely a thing. The amount of places that I would want to go, like without the kind of like travel and leisure that I enjoy is very specifically like low key, where like when I was in Hawaii, my whole idea was like I do want to go see the museums, but other than that, I want to walk around Honolulu and I want to and Waikiki a bit, even though that place was a nightmare in some ways. And I want to like just see what's here. And it was nice. Like over the course of a week, I learned that there's a lot of very religious Korean people in Honolulu, and there's some, I would say, wildly racist one-man shows in Honolulu that are historically grounded, so it's okay. um, I went to some interesting shit, and it didn't cost very much money, and I think it'd be easy to become a real piece of shit very quickly out in places like that. Also, the fact that you can like practically walk across that island, like
Hmm.
Oahu is not big. Um, it really adds in for somebody like me who doesn't drive. Really adds in that extra spice of like I could just kind of make it wherever I'm going.
Yeah, that is very alluring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see myself like doing dumb shit like renting an island. Like
Yep,
a like remember Fire Festival? I would have been stranded at Fire Festival probably if
I
I
could
had
see that for you.
unlimited money.
I could see you being in the alternative Burning Man zones.
Yeah.
Um, I got
Yeah.
so pissed off at Burning Man fairly early on that I don't think I would be too into that. But I would probably be doing my own personal, like 10-person Burning Mans out in places that you're not supposed to. That would probably be an asshole thing I would do. Maybe at my weird castle, that might be okay, but
Just like in the middle of nowhere destroying a national park or something.
yeah, basically. Like, it's not that big a deal. It's only a little bit of space. Look at all this fucking shark.
Oh my god, I didn't realize there was that much. Those are incredibly engorged sharks. Ew. How's the mouth feel?
Bad. The mouthfeel is bad.
Ew. I just like slosh.
What is that noise? Is it dum 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 dum?
It's so.
Sloppy.
It actually like gave me a shiver.
I found ASMR. Can't hear it through the headphones. But can you hear it through the headphones?
Yeah.
It sounds a little like an aquarium. Here you go. Here's a nice look.
Ooh. Do they still look like sharks anymore?
Yeah, they look like sharks. They're just both broken in half.
Oh.
They don't taste good. Go ahead and pop this open instead.
What kind of flavor are we talking? Like a blue flavor?
Yeah. Yep. That's about the only flavor I can find in there.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's real sweet. So much sugar in that.
Mm.
Oh, that's such a different flavor. Ah. Oh, after having that horrible shark drink, it tastes like straight vinegar.
Mm-hmm. That seems like what that would be.
Hachi machi.
Mm.
My noggin.
Your noggin hurts?
My bean has been fully sharked.
I hate it when my bean gets sharked. It's the worst. I've been alerted via text that there are pot stickers in the other room.
Oh shit.
Just in case you were wondering who was gonna win this roommate battle.
Asshole.
Doesn't bode well for you. Nick!
Hey! Get out of your online therapy appointment and make something. Well, if you want to grab pot stickers, you can. Because you could
I might have to
introduce those pot stickers to people and me so I can feel like I'm there. I might wait for you to do that, and then I might make some more coffee because I feel like I have been violated by the shark drink, and it is rough. It's so sweet, and it's so much, and Applebee's did me real dirty, so I guess
were
I should
violated by the shark drink. I can still hear the slosh in my ears. It's ringing. It's just
I don't know how that would happen.
Around in my head. I'm going to be trying to sleep tonight, and it's just going to be... All right. Should I retrieve some and then show them to the people?
I think they would enjoy that.
I will do that.
I'll have a new segment in a bit.
Okay, great. Return momentarily with the spoils.
Very dignified. Okay. Wow, it's dark in there. You know, based on how dark it was in that other room, I'm not entirely convinced that it's not a hologram that she's living with. Also, does she just have her keys sitting there? It's almost like we could grab them. So, the thing that I didn't really show off is the residue that this fucking drink left on here is like somebody came in and just like sprayed putty on the inside of this glass. It's really rough. It feels like somebody made really, really, really bad Jello shooters. So I guess yeah, that's real soft. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't eat those sharks out of there. Well, anyway, so I'm not going to be doing crypto art, but what I am going to be doing is some Magic the Gathering via camera. Yeah, got one of these sitting over here. If we ever get a Twitch going, I might try to do a little bit of that. God damn it. Competitively, this is demoralizing. You can't just come into a room like that. Fucking pot sticker goblin.
Ooh. Oh yeah, she knows what she's doing. Also, I have no idea what the sauce is, but look at the sauce. There's like
Hmm.
some peanut action.
Is it like a peanut sauce?
Ooh. A spicy, but like
It's spicy.
it's spicy.
Does
Like a
she?
little
Does Jenny
vinegary.
work in the food world, or is this a side thing?
Jenny is a chef.
Okay.
Yes. She is spoiling me. These pot stickers are done perfectly. They're nice and I don't know, cooked, soft, but also crispy.
Yeah, they look real
Bottom.
good.
Gotta
Wait, crispy
spank
like
that
this?
dumpling.
Crispy
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
Uh, I think you should probably watch Doro Hedoro if you get the chance. It's a very pot sticker heavy show.
Well, I'm sold. I like any
Um,
sort of sticker action I can.
I'm gonna need you to bite test those, and while
Mm.
you're doing that, I'm going to make some life-saving coffee.
Okay. Mm. These are gonna be so yummy. Okay, here we go. Bite test, bite test. Mm. These are really good. These pot stickers are from Trader Joe's. They are the shrimp ones, and they're pretty good. Excellent. Here's a up close look at my pot sticker. This is how influencers do it. Today we'll be using the shade Deliciousness Meat. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Good sauce. Actually goes very well with the shrimp. So. Jenny has outdone herself.
Oh. Yeah, it does continue to look very tasty.
It's pretty tasty.
How's the water pressure in your place? Maybe I still have you beat on that.
It's actually all right. Not bad. Although we do have a semi short window of hot water. So.
Oh, so you live in like you don't live in a big group building so much, right?
Mm-mm.
That's good. Uh, I've definitely lived in a few of those where there was like a grand total of 5 minutes of hot water, and that shit can be rough.
Yeah, it's not too bad. We're usually fine with both of us taking maybe normal
Normal.
to on the quicker end of normal showers.
Yeah.
But
Well, I used to live in a place where I get it. I used to live in a place where the hot water was so, but also one of the roommates would do their laundry on a board and then hang it in the tub, and then also put all of the plants in the apartment in the tub and water them for a full day at a time. So um, there are worse things than, a 5 minute hot shower.
yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
like quite the production.
Sometimes you live with people who are like, you know what? It's my God given right to take a 3 hour bath during the only hours when you can get ready for work. That's just how it happens sometimes.
That's how it is here
Yep.
in the land of the free.
The land of the free is why I can only afford to live in situations. This place has been good, but oftentimes where having a spare toothbrush next to my bed with a cup to spit in is necessary when I go to work, because oftentimes people are just like, I don't know, I don't really feel like not using the bathroom for the entire morning.
Oh, yeah. I've been there. That's
Yep.
that's been that'll be an interesting schedule to keep once Jenny returns to work. But she's in between jobs, so she's starting next week. But
I mean, isn't a lot of your work available from the home at least?
yeah.
Okay.
So it should
That's
almost never be a problem. But we do have one bathroom, which hasn't been a problem. But
one bathroom for 2 people is not bad. One bathroom
not
for
bad.
3+ people can start to get a little fucky.
Our bathroom door hits the toilet when you open it.
Hell yeah.
So it's
That just means there's a human lock when somebody's in there.
exactly. You're sitting there and you just kick them in and you're like,
Yep.
fuck out of here. Yeah.
I'm shitting.
Exactly. And they also I'm not really sure I understand what they were thinking when they did the layout of this house, because they gave us an outrageously long laundry room. Like the laundry room is very big.
Okay.
And our bathroom is very, very, very small.
I've always said, I like a really, really long, humid room. If I were going to have a lot of different things in the house, a long, humid room is really, like, number one.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I need a long, humid, but often cold room that you don't really want to be inside of that much.
Yeah.
Make that big.
Well, then when you have a lot of people over and it gets too hot in the house, you can go in there.
You just shove them on in.
Yeah.
Easy.
That makes sense. That's good.
Yeah. There's a bucket in there. You don't need 2 bathrooms or a larger bathroom.
Yeah. I was just thinking, I like a cold, humid, long toilet kitchen. Is there a sink in there, or would you just wash your hands by turning the washer on for a few minutes?
There is actually a sink.
Okay. See, that would be really nice to keep paint in, depending, but
yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know what the fuck you would use it for.
The space will get used, probably more for storage than anything, but I really
you could hang all the clothes that have been bad in there.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Yeah. It also sounds like I may be bringing my cat down to live with me next time I go back home.
The
Possibly.
old one.
The old boy.
Spicy. That's
the spiciest.
That is a quick way to make sure that your place has some excitement.
Or at least a really loud cat in it.
I've noticed that since you came back this last weekend, there's like an old stink pillow kind of wandering around. Is that normal?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's good luck, I hear.
Yeah. If you find a random claw on the floor, that's just
you
how
make
that's
a wish.
Supposed to be. Find a random tuft of hair. That's good luck.
Yep.
Good luck.
Put that in your pocket. You have good luck all day.
Keep it for later. Mm-hmm.
Stinky fingertips.
Yeah. So that could be in my future.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that sounds nice. I'm sure that being as cats are, he would be very upset and then probably spend a long time on your bed, and that seems fine.
Yeah.
That seems like cat stuff.
I think he actually likes road trips because the last time
Huh.
that we moved, I remember he didn't like being in his carrier because obviously, and then we
Right.
just let him out and he just kind of wandered around the car while we were driving and he really liked just sitting and looking out the window.
I mean, that's not
So,
bad then.
yeah, seems like maybe he would enjoy it, the ride down, but I think this place would be good for him. There's a lot of windows, so little sunspots he can perch up in. A lot of, well, a few heaters to lie in front of.
Yeah, good lion heaters are good for a cat.
It's important. And the floors are hardwood, so he's not gonna get Velcro attached to anything.
I noticed you have a floor drawer. That's
I
exciting.
do. I have many drawers.
When was this place built?
Uh, I think in the 60s.
Okay, it's
I
got a
have a
good.
pretty good amount of wall storage, I
It's
guess.
extensive storage. I feel like that's the sign of a good space.
Yeah.
Not always the best space to move out of, but a good space to be.
Yeah, I actually just found a dresser today to put inside of there so I can fold up my various um
Things.
ridiculous amounts of clothes.
Yeah,
And
I have one of those like hanging cubes things in
mm,
my closet, and every cube is so full that it's just like round, and it really sucks because like I don't want to. I fitting another one in a place would be really tough. Yet getting rid of my mountain of horrible and still often worn clothing is a tough gambit. So
yeah,
I guess we'll
I
see.
have I have too many articles of clothing that I keep for a very specific purpose that just doesn't really come around very often.
Yeah,
But I can't
that's
really justify like not having it because then it'll happen and then I won't have it.
there's gonna be another funeral. I'm gonna want this
I'm
shirt.
gonna need this, and hmm, I don't know. I need to go to more funerals or something.
Yeah, I've got a lot of clothing that's like one or two uses kind of clothing, and then I've got a lot of clothing that's like you can use it for anything, but you're never gonna look like not a crazy person in it. And I just end up wearing it on like honestly, the days that I don't care how I look are usually like days I go to work. So I'll just be like, I guess I look like this today.
Yeah.
And then I have a giant pile of clothing that I clean once a month in way too big a pile, and then I spend like 2 hours folding everything.
Yeah.
Totally normal shit.
It just it's like the monthly laundry pile that you must address at some point in the month and it takes up a whole day.
And will be
And that's
addressed uh, in a fashion that is inconvenient every time.
uh-huh.
Yep.
Mm.
While my roommate does laundry like literally every other day. And I think that's maybe the other extreme that I don't like.
That stresses me out.
Oh yeah. No, when I first got here, it was like one of the biggest hurdles of me like trying to understand someone else of like, you did laundry like a day ago and just like, we gotta do it again. It just made me very suspicious of like, what are you doing to those clothes that you have to wash them right now?
Is he wearing like multiple outfits over the course of a day? Are there a lot of outfit changes, wardrobe changes happening?
I don't think so. Like when Nick was dating more, there might be a clothing change, but also it's crazy because literally like everything Nick owns is blue,
Mm-hmm.
like his shoes, most of his clothes, like everything. His jackets. There's our weird jacket hanger thing. There is a blue half and then like a color scale half. Mine is like a bunch of autumn colors and things like that, and then his is just like 6 different shades of blue and like a black jacket. And that's
Yep.
you can clearly see the delineation between like where our shit is.
That's
And
nice.
all of his shoes I can identify because they are all blue or like bluish black. And then mine have like something terrible that's happened to them, like all of them.
Some sort of misfortune.
Yeah, I mean, like before 2020, every year before 2020, I would walk like usually several miles a day, and my shoes just are ground into dust by the end of like a few months. So I have a lot of shoes that are like backup shoes and shit like that, or like wedding shoes, or I got shoes for a wedding that I think I still have. Uh, Still a little weird on they got Skechers and the interior, or no, they were Doc Martens and the interior is like the African flag, and it's like nobody going to this fits this aesthetic. But a lot of those have like the space where the toes are has just been like torn through, and there's like holes through the sides of them and stuff. Almost all the treads in my shoes have been worn completely smooth, like ballerina shoes.
Just in case you feel like doing a pirouette sometime.
Yeah, I might need to do some smooth plies, and I don't want to have any traction to fuck up my jump at the beginning. I don't know. If I were rich, I would probably have a shoe closet with like interesting shoes in them, and I think that's already bad enough.
That's my shoe drawer.
Oh.
It would most definitely be a closet if I had more money.
Yes. You'd have one of those things where the doors open and there's like secondary doors just full of shoes.
Yeah.
Today I'm gonna wear these shoes because I've never worn them. And that's just
I've never even seen them before.
These are new to me. While you were gone getting the pot stickers, I ate part of one of the sharks.
Oh, how was that?
I will not be eating the rest of them. Unnaturally smooth is how I would describe that.
Does it just slide straight down your gullet?
It's just kind of a like. It's like
an oyster.
Well, oysters have more texture. It's like when a little kid eats macaroni wrong, and they just kind of like put it in their mouth and swallow it instead of chewing it.
Oh.
I stayed with a lot of friends and stuff a lot at different times, and I remember very specifically a homeschooled friend who was like, "It's macaroni and cheese day," and he would just be picking it up and like. And it was just disappearing, and I noticed he was not chewing. He was just swallowing all the macaroni. It was very, like,
There's something very unsettling
right?
about that.
Like, and I asked him about it, because, you know, we were, like, 10-ish, maybe, a little younger. Like, are you not chewing your macaroni? I was like, no. I was like, have you tried? And he, like, couldn't do it. Like, he was like, and he just started swallowing it again. It was very strange. But then he spent most of the rest of the day pretending to be a dinosaur. So, you know, kid shit.
I mean, okay, yeah.
But still, that's not what I want out of... I don't want to have to remember the macaroni swallower when I try to eat shark gummy. Yeah. Like, honestly, I believe if you just held the bowl up and poured it into his mouth, it would just be like pouring it into a sink. It's just very weird.
Just open up your throat.
Well, the key to eating macaroni really is that you just gotta open up the throat. Can you just kind of pour the macaroni down your neck?
Yeah.
Just kind of.
A funnel would be good. Just like a Mac funnel. Right into here.
I believe without parenting, a lot of us would just be cartoon characters. And that guy definitely proved that with a lot of parenting, too. Also, I'm pretty sure his math class was playing Math Blasters on their computer, which, hey, homeschooling is not always the best.
Not always. Not always. I definitely played a lot of educational computer games, but to my mother's credit, they did not replace actual
Yeah, that's a
school.
we got to play like Oregon Trail occasionally, but that didn't mean
Yeah.
that we weren't having to do stuff at school.
Yeah.
Though I do remember having a lasting and like extreme fondness for those computer games that were like, here's just a bunch of stuff in a scene with like cartoonish looking characters, and you can go poke at things and everything does something. And I remember that being a weird formative moment of like, we can do this at school. Like, it was like, I remember one scene was just like a bunch of people at a beach, and it was like, you can poke this weird shape in the sand and a crab burrows out, or like there were like just every inch of space had some kind of weird shit.
Something to do, yeah.
I honestly think that those games would still be popular if you put them on like Switch or something.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they would. I vividly remember playing an I Spy game that I really really liked because it was very similar to that. Like everything did something,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember what the actual campaign was in this game, what you were trying to do, but yeah, it's a good memories. Yeah, they should make
Speaking,
I Spy.
they make I Spy games on Switch, but they're not the same.
Oh.
They've like decided that it needs to be a point and click adventure to be worth it, and I think that actually kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Speaking of defeating the purpose, etc., did you listen to those songs I sent while you were moving?
I actually have not.
Okay, you're probably better off, but I'm still going to need you to do that.
I'll do that.
Special shout out to the one I sent about playing League. Fuck, that sucks. There's a lot of really bad music on the internet. And when I can't sleep, I discover a lot of it, and it fucking sucks. But I did send you that down with the sickness that sounds like a monkey noise at the start.
I think I did listen to that one.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I thanks.
Yep.
Thank you for sending that.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I gave you an out when I first mentioned that stuff, and you said no, send it to me. So, you know, that's what happens.
It's what happens. I asked for it. I knew what I was getting into, and I allowed it to happen.
My little audio castle in the woods.
Oh, I have an audio. Well, no, I have a visual castle in the woods for you.
Okay.
Here's something I found on Twitter that was pretty horrible.
Horrible Twitter.
Yee. Where'd it go?
I don't know. My horrible Twitter and horrible TikToks often are like a Hassan thing. So I use that as like the methadone to not be on horrible Twitter and horrible TikTok too much.
Yeah.
See somebody fucking dancing about liberal shit and that kind of shit.
Dear God.
Yeah.
Racism defeated.
God damn it. I assume you've seen that shit already, but
yes. It sucks real bad. I just sent you a particular brand of horrible.
All right.
You might have to read the thread above, but it's pretty self-explanatory what's going on in this thread.
Did you send it through text?
Oh, I didn't. I sent it over Twitter.
Okay, that will be helpful. God damn it. I got some more information about Apple and my mom having a conversation. Come on, Twitter. Come on, Twitter, take me away. All right. Let's see this garbage. Should I read this?
Sure.
You cannot dangle a carrot in front of a horse and expect it not to take a bite. It is automatic. Men are still animals and react to those base instincts. It has nothing to do with being pathetic. It has everything to do with being unable to control those desires. And the tweet is unavailable, but it does just say enjoy the titties. So.
Oh, does it? I forgot what the original tweet was. Anyway, basically they were talking about like maybe guys shouldn't like rape people, and that was that man's response.
It's like a big crunchy carrot in front of a horse's face. You know, sometimes Judas lifts his robe up over his head, which I think maybe when I read that, people might have missed that that's what he was doing. Mm-hmm. And you can't help yourself.
You can't help yourself. Sometimes you just gotta sin. You just gotta sin.
Hey, and if sinning includes directly doing something that somebody doesn't want because you don't feel like listening to them, then hey, fantastic. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm. Because evolution, right? That's how it all works. We're actually we just actually have monkey brains and can't
yeah, that totally stands up to how people evolved to have sex facing each other. Is the whole non-consent thing.
Yeah.
That's how nature works.
I think so.
You don't want consent and like have to like not really know it. I gotta get coffee. Twitter's stupid.
Oh, it is indeed. I'm just sitting here eating the sauce with my finger because it's really good. Maybe I should let's put it on a chip. That'll be good. Sauce on chip. I am a genius.
Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. You don't know what that crawdad's gonna do to that. Fuck. Alright, I'll call an ambulance. You having some peanut crawdad?
It's really good.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Oh. Aftertaste, not good. Not good.
Acceptable.
Why does it taste like cat litter to me? Why does everything go back to cat feces with me? Why is like all of my senses are like cat feces?
Did you deep kiss a cat earlier? I feel like there's been too much cat stuff happening.
Too much. I need some water. What is happening?
Something's happening to me. You know, I hear getting mega cancer is actually preceded by tasting and smelling cats around you all the time.
Huh.
Maybe it's just separation anxiety since you've been such easy access to spicy for a while.
He just comes to me every day. I'm used to the smell, so my mind is compensating.
Yeah. Oh, I should have smelled cat piss by now.
It's time for my daily cat piss smell.
Oh, fuck. This coffee's so good after drinking that horrible drink.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I bet.
Fuck. That shark fucking sucks.
What about it? The blue flavor or the slime?
Both. It's all the same drink.
Oh.
Yeah, you want to ask about the blue flavor of the slime? Ask the shark.
Ew, why is it like Jello now? Also, why was the drink milky? I want to know. Why was it just kind of like
I don't know.
there was a haze?
Yeah, there was a problem in there, but
Multiple.
ugh, I should have given that one to Nick and taken the weird green drink, but I wasn't thinking ahead.
Was the other one the pot of gold?
Tipsy Leprechaun.
Oh, okay.
The pot of gold colada was a yellow drink.
I hate it.
What?
Pot de gold colada.
Look, you get expertly done mucho cocktails. You accept what they give you.
Somewhere in some Applebee's building in the basement, there's just some poor marketing intern who they're holding at gunpoint to make all these horrible Pinocchio gold coins, whatever.
So I went and got this Applebee. Okay, well, here's an Applebee's story, I guess. So I carpool to and from work with Miranda.
Mhm.
We both work at a print-based place, and we only carpool once a week, but we usually do something for food or something along those lines. This week it's a birthday thing, so that's not happening. But last week it was an Applebee's thing. Never done Applebee's aside from when it's like delivered to the building that we work in, because we do work for Applebee's, so it's the cheapest option. So I didn't even realize that the Applebee's that we deal with is like just down the street. Like I always thought it was further away for some reason. Anyway, so we order online to go pick it up. We're in the same vehicle, and we're showing up at the same time. We're not like we're standing there as a unit. We're not like acting like we're two largely separate people. We just ordered separately to get like our own bags, because like I'm bringing mine here for Nick and I. And the people come up and they're like, all right, it's Miranda, right? And it's Jessica. And then another person came by and they're like, oh, somebody already helped you out? Okay, yeah. And then another guy came up and was like, it was Jessica? Like, for some reason, the typed out name that I had given them just turned into Jessica later. And so that was like fine. The awkward thing was, because we got drinks, they didn't check our IDs. They just walked it to the car for us. Like, oh, so we have to put this in your trunk. That was their policy, I guess, which is weird, but like I guess I get it.
To make sure you're not giving it to like minors or something.
Right. And like it's clearly a liability thing, but it's also like very weird. And
that is odd.
So they're carrying our food out to the car to put it in the trunk. And when they realize we're in the same car, they start going like, we could just come with you. There's like 4 drinks here. It was just like, it's not a conversation. I know it's jokes, but you're not good at jokes, and this is not a good one of those. And the lady who was carrying out her stuff also seemed very uncomfortable. So that seems like a terrible person to work with.
Oh boy.
But yeah, if you want to get to go from Applebee's, I got a very firm suspicion that they hate being there and desperately want to leave.
Please take me with you.
Yeah.
I beg you, please.
But that was interesting. What did I get from Applebee's, you ask?
I am curious.
I did get a full rack of ribs, yes.
Okay, great, good. That's what I wanted to know.
I decided, well, I'm gonna get Applebee's food, and that's stupid. So I might as well get like something that's like multiple meals, essentially, because like I don't really want anything from Applebee's, but like this was the suggestion. So what I got was a full rack of ribs, which costs $1 more than a half rack, which is already like weird. And their sides that they offer are like some green beans, some like small dishes, a full baked potato, and like so I got a full baked potato, obviously,
Yeah.
and a rack of ribs, uh, and like this horrible drink, and uh, what looked like it would be just some like pretzel sticks or something, like an appetizer, but they were like full pretzel hoagie looking things.
Oh.
And you got 4 of them for like $6. So it was very like, I guess calories are handled for a while off of this. And it wasn't terrible, but food that would cost, 2/3 that price and be from a shittier place would have done at least as good at being food.
Yeah, that sounds like an Applebee's visit.
But, I got 3 full meals out of it over the course of a couple days, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's good.
And that terrible drink that I want to forget immediately.
My personal Applebee's decision is typically a appetizer sampler.
That's the right kind of choice.
I think so.
That's I'm a big proponent of diners all the time. That's like if I only had one type of restaurant, I would rather learn how to make everything I like and just have a diner I can go to sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's Seattle, at least pre-pandemic, has been a pretty pro diner place, even though some of them got fucked over by the Amazon like move in and stuff. But I really love the kind of dumb shit you can find at some of those places. I would even like Family Pancake House. I think is close enough to a diner. The only IHOP I think is like a diner though is the one in Capitol Hill that is like a trash place. That place, the only thing it's known for is that Kurt Cobain would eat there sometimes, which I think already says like, yeah, it's probably pretty dismal.
Yeah, that says something.
And they like always have the specials for the season run over way too far and weird shit like that. Like I want to say I got Addams Family pancakes there that were like deep purple and green, like frosted some kind of shit.
Oh god.
And I got like purple hot cocoa there, and I do not think it was even close to Halloween when that stuff was there.
They run by their own rules. They're just like fully out of the loop of the rest of the IHOP corporation.
I want to say I got that when I was coming. A friend and I and like a group of like friends went to an art opening, and I think it was after Thanksgiving in 2019, and they had a bunch of Halloween Addams Family shit at that IHOP.
That's the perfect time. Actually, that's when I most want Halloween because Halloween just happened and I wish it was still happening and now I'm having to deal with holidays.
Holidays are garbage and I think we need post-pandemic, I think holidays need to be free and easy cuz like Christmaween, that is so much better than the rest of it. After kind of just getting to do that last year, I think like Halloween can be a season. I can turn that into a season just fine.
Yeah, I think so.
It's the last half of fall and the first half of winter. That's Christmaween from now on.
I second this motion. I'm really hoping that it's probably not going to happen, but if COVID gets under control in Idaho, haha, funny joke. But there are some really good haunted houses and mazes here that I used to go to in junior high. So that would be a real fun, nostalgic trip to make. But
Is that a real like corn maze community kind of out there, or what do
it's
they do?
actually kind of in the middle of town. Like it's kind of a really weird place for a cornfield to just be. It might have relocated by now, but yeah, I have always remembered around Halloween going. It's called Haunted World, and there's a haunted house,
Okay.
and then there's a separate corn maze that's pretty big, and they're, from what I remember, pretty good, pretty scary. But also, I was in 8th grade, so
Yeah, I don't have the major Halloween haunted house thing I remember is going to like a young kid going to a haunted house with a friend's family and then not being brave enough to go on it because it was basically like a fucking roller coaster that they had set up with shit on it, and like I already wasn't okay with roller coasters because they always came up too low on me and it would hurt the shit out of me.
yeah.
And like even at that point of being pretty young, I was like just not into it. I think I avoided ruining their Halloween. I hope. I don't know.
Who can say?
Who can say? And the rest of my Halloween stuff has all been like me. I did go to some of the Halloween haunted house stuff that was in the Seattle waterfront because they do that usually. But a lot of it has been like weird art people building their own Halloween house in like art community buildings. Like a bunch of people like have a room in a house or something.
Yeah.
And some of those were legitimately scary because they were like not actual haunted houses. They were just kind of like whatever they wanted to make. And some of those hauntings were maybe not as fake. A lot of people doing shit that was just kind of like, I mean, that's what they're doing. I don't know if it's supposed to be part of this.
That sounds intriguing, but also deeply scary. Unsettling, yes.
Yeah. So most of I've had a very slow horror kind of style with Halloween houses. And I have a weird thing with my left ear especially where if I go to movies or even if I have the volume up at home, I often have like a habit of holding one ear closed because it's extra sensitive. And most things are based around jump scares, and a lot of that's like, do you like this loud noise? And it literally like can make one of my ears like sort of pop for a while, and I hate it. So I have tended to be okay avoiding some of that stuff, but I feel like I would probably actually be pretty comfortable in a regular haunted house. I've just been exposed to so many that are like super weird.
Weird. Yeah. I personally would like to encounter more that are a little weird or even like hardcore, but there's not a whole lot of that going on.
Yeah. That the ones that say they do that are still public stuff are usually just saying that to get more people to go anyway.
Yeah.
It's hard to be afraid of a wolf costume. That's sort of my feeling on most haunted houses. If you've been around actual chainsaws, you can see when they don't have anything on them. That kind of takes away everybody's favorite like end of the haunted house thing of like, look
running
at this,
away.
it's loud.
Yeah, I actually do remember a specific time where it was exactly that. It was the end of the corn maze, and we got chased out the end of it. And someone, actually, I think this happened to Jenny. She tripped and fell, and then the guy with the chainsaw like hunched over her and was like chainsawing her, but it was just like sitting on her making a lot of noise. kind of destroys the illusion a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to pull off being a violent killer as like
when you're
aesthetic.
not killing anyone. Like,
yeah, you can only hunch and go yeah so much before it's like I think maybe we should go.
Am I upset that my friend didn't get just sawn in half to make the dream real?
Maybe a little.
A little bit.
But it's paying off now, and I think that's what's important.
I agree.
You should probably, after this podcast, tell her I'm really glad you didn't get sawed in half by that maniac. The version of that I saw was a person in an upstairs room of a house rolled completely into a carpet, rolling back and forth on a floor in a dark room going, oh! Which has its own scariness to it, really.
That just looks comfy. That sounds comfy to me.
Yeah. It's just some sort of human worm action. I don't know, it seemed okay. Yeah, I don't know. I want there to be a more Halloween themed season, though, for sure.
Yeah. We need to give it more time. Mm-hmm. It needs more time.
What we don't need to give more time, I guess. Here's a new segment. What the fuck is your problem?
That was so aggressive. Both the whistling and the flu and the...
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm awake.
So, well, that's why it's such a good one to lead towards the end of something.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I was looking up last February, towards the end of February, I was just researching things that had come out about the fucking police officers that were guarding the grocery store dumpsters in Portland from people.
Yeah.
Or not last year. The end of February is not last year. Time doesn't mean anything.
No, anyway, it does not.
So last month, rather, a few weeks ago. So during the ice storm where a bunch of people didn't have power and a bunch of people didn't have access to a bunch of stuff in Portland, people got word that they were essentially just cycling out a bunch of their frozen food, including meats and dairy and all kinds of stuff that people weren't able to afford because we're still in the middle of a fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
And word kind of got out, and like a handful of people showed up to like grab some of it because it was at the use by date on a lot of stuff, but like as I can attend from being a not super moneyed person for most of my life, the best by date is when you have about a week left on things, as long as you're cooking it or doing whatever. It's the best by date is when you should freeze it if you know you're not going to use it yet. Mm-hmm. So freezing temperatures out, piled together, so also staying cold that way. And instead of, minding their own business essentially at this, what was it, a QFC, I think?
That sounds right. Something like that.
It might have been a... Yeah, I think it was... Kroger's? Yeah, it was a Kroger brand of some kind. Instead of that, they called in the police, and there were like a dozen police just guarding this dumpster so that people couldn't get the food. And past that, they also guarded the dumpster for just long enough to make it not food safe, potentially, because they were only there all day. So by the time they left, it was like, well, people are still going to grab this food, but now might not be safe anymore. Like, so really cool job. Kroger tried to come out and be like, people misunderstand. We were just trying to protect everybody, which is also like, you could just give them the food instead of putting it in a dumpster too. Like, even fucking like White Castle during the pandemic was giving aid workers free food. Like, they were literally taking White Castle, which, you know, whatever you think about White Castle, they were taking that to hospitals to give to people for free, which is like, I don't know if I want White Castle when I'm working a hospital shift, because I don't want to have diarrhea while I'm trying to save somebody's life. But I do know that that is a hell of a lot more conscientious and using what they have available. And the idea of taking stuff that you know isn't bad, but you also know is like gonna be soon, essentially a manager's special section. I buy stuff that's past expiration constantly. Like, that's literally when I go to the store, I'm like, show me those expired goods.
Where is it?
And I've gotten sick 0 times from it, because you just need to not be a dumb asshole. Anyway, I got really upset about that, like I think a lot of people did. But I was eating at work, so of course my upsetness was me singing and cheering, like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Or perchance in my head saying, what the fuck is your problem? So I got to that, and I wanted to look up, you know, policies in general towards that kind of stuff. And what I ended up finding out is that in 2013, let's say a few years ago, is that when that shirt's from? I forget.
Yep.
Nice. So when that 27th annual Western Montana championship was won by Madison.
Yes.
That same year, Italy passed a law requiring grocery stores to supply their rotated out goods to the poor. So they've had that enacted for a while.
For a bit now, yeah.
And apparently, Italy, everyone's stronghold of good government, they're doing better than we are on that shit for a while. So it has been like pretty like well received. Like, a lot of places were like, "Oh, good job, Italy," in 2013. But still, like, we have fucking police guarding our dumpsters. Seems like, if nothing else, some real bad optics. And it also seems very much a business, whether it was like conscious or not, like retaliating against the poor who are trying to like get human rights in the area, because it
Not
was bad
bad
for business lately. So I hope this summer sees more protests, and I hope that QFC very specifically gets the shit looted out of it, because I don't give a shit about them anymore. But yeah, I was really disappointed to see that, and that was the same day that I looked up info on the ICE unions. So that was just a cool day for everything.
Wow, like, yeah, that just sounds like a fun time overall.
And it also, like, for better or worse, I think Biden means it when he says people should have the right to choose unions, which is good. But I think part of that is that police and ICE unions are part of that. And that kind of takes all of the impetus away from him to have to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because clearly, like, he's willing to put in the work of signing a thing that says, I'd love to do something about it. But, like, everything else, they're just kind of sitting and not really caring.
My intentions are very good. From
I would
Joe
love
Biden.
For them to have parents. Put that in the mail.
There you go.
That reminds me, you will have almost certainly something to try out next podcast. But when you get the paper portion, make sure you check the back of the envelope first, because it is supposed to not be opened until everything is there.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want it to be spoiled. I feel like keeping the anticipation at a height will help with some of that shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. All right. I
Also,
will be on the lookout.
and this is for real, be careful.
Okay. Oh, God. Is Mr. Brickles unhappy about the hot tub?
No, this has nothing to do with Mr. Brickle.
Okay.
Your dealings with Mr. Brickle are done. His hot tub is very wet. He is very
That's
fine.
all we need to know. He's fine. He's good. He's set.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
He's fine. He's good. He's set. His hot tub is very wet.
Episode named His Hot Tub is Very Wet.
Oh, okay.
Or, I don't know. The mouthfeel. The shark mouthfeel. I don't know. We'll work something.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll be as good as every other title that we've had.
I really like the word mouthfeel.
Yeah, mouthfeel's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we need to start a secondary podcast at some point that is the meat space mouthfeel, in which we just have segments of trying food at the same time in different places.
Yeah, I think we do need to. Ooh! Especially if for really dumb like fast food promotions that happen. Oh my God! Yeah, okay.
Definitely.
We're starting a second podcast, everyone.
And we'll have to get more of these.
Oh yeah. Have you seen the Bacon Club chalupa?
No.
I've
Where
seen
is
it. Oh, it's out there. I have not tried it, but every time I see the sign, I'm like,
it opens up your eyes.
It's a little bit like, there's no way that's good, but I'm gonna have to try that.
Bacon Club infers it has like lettuce, ranch, and bacon on it. It's a chalupa? That sounds fucking disgusting. I mean, I'll try it. I'm not gonna.
Sure, yeah. I'm not gonna not try it. I'm for sure gonna try it, but.
Actually, I'll let people know. I cut out almost all of the stuff that's depressing that I had for this week. I think that's a tactic I'll start using. Is I'll just write down everything, and then as I pick through it, I'll be like, I won't do this yet. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about that isn't that big a deal, but it is one of my topics, so I thought I would touch on it first. So I'm not a car person. I can technically drive. I've had permits a number of times, but I don't really agree with what cars are. I wish that mass transportation were a thing in this country. And when I was younger, my thought was, well, it'll pick up. We're like working on it. And then as I got older, I realized, no, people are actually super against that. Which is part of why I absolutely hate the idea of living outside of a city area, because I think being able to walk places, and cities naturally have a deterrent to cars. Even though they're all crowded, the amount of people who own cars is often reduced because it's impractical. So I started looking up some statistics. Now, these statistics I think are really interesting and show that there is a better way we could do things. The other statistics I was looking up that I'll maybe touch on real quick. It is depressing, but I think it's worth it. They're making a huge deal about how during this protest / like women's revolution in Mexico, that one of the statistics is that like over 5 women are murdered a day in Mexico. That's a big deal. Like, that is a big deal. So I thought, well, I should probably look up the information that's available and see how that relates to the US. So I looked up the information. I looked it up per 100,000. I looked up the the demographics of it and the populations of the US and Mexico and all that shit. You can find homicide rates and stuff like that online, and gendered, which I don't know how reliable that is, but it is reliable enough. Anyway, the numbers suck when they say, and I'm sure there's give or take on some of that, but when they say that Mexico has 5 or so women murdered a day, the average comes out to about 7. In the U.S. per capita, it's 8. So it's not a we're bigger thing. It's a per people. There are more homicides of women in this country, and we don't seem to be having a revolution about it. But I think that's worth noting only as a cautionary thing of like, maybe when you see revolutions happening in countries over the horrible treatment of women, you should also consider that our country isn't telling us the statistics on our own horrible treatment of women, etc. That is to honestly sort of work into a thing that is not violence related in any direct way, but is sort of like one of those, maybe we should have statistics about this more available to people. And when I say more available, maybe we have to scream them at people for the next decade to make it matter to anybody. So I don't need the Scooby-Doo Eats page anymore.
But why not?
I mean, I want it open. I will keep it open and see if the ordering comes to Seattle. No, don't need that. Oh my god, how did I open this many goddamn pages? Fuck. Okay. Anyway, so the thing that I was looking up, because I hear a lot of people talk about, and this is probably going to run us pretty much to the end of our time, but the thing that I am really interested in is car culture in the U.S., especially coming off of like Sturgis happening again, and people like running to that for fucking let's all ride motorcycles and like tongue kiss each other in Florida. Like everybody's got to go do that. The pictures of Sturgis from this year, like, oh yeah, nobody has a mask on. Cool. It's so uncomfortable in my helmet.
I can't breathe.
Ooh, sucks. So in the U.S., per 100 people, there are roughly 89 cars. So it's basically like, hey, kids don't drive. Like that's basically how the U.S. is distributed. Is like, do you have a car? You are a human in the U.S. And like that's not really unexpected. But having I'll just call it 85. It's a little more than that, I think, but like 85 roughly per 100 people. Cars per people. It's not like 100 people own that many cars. It's just like the amounts. The the amount of cars, or rather, the way that they have it worked out is per 1,000 people. So like, more directly, it's like 860 people per 1,000 people. Like that's how, or cars per 1,000 people. In the UK, for example, it's like 450 cars per 1,000 people, which is a pretty significant difference. So the thing that really struck me was there's been some like videos going around again of like some speeches that like Castro made and various other people about the usage of cars in the world and the US. But for all of the shitty things that Castro has done and the good things he's done, it really stuck with me his description of cars, in which he noted that if the rest of the world did what the US does with cars, we'd all be dead. But if India and China did what we did with cars, we'd all be dead. Like, it wouldn't take that much. Like, the fact that we're considering ourselves a land of freedom is sort of indicative of the idea that no one else can be.
Mhm.
And the lifestyle that we're trying to maintain would literally kill everyone if it were to leave our country. Like if you need and that's not his exact words, that's like the essence of what our car culture is. The amount of CO2 and usage that we have for energy in our country would decimate the planet if it were spread to the amount of people not in our country. So China has about like 230 cars per thousand. Like they have more people than us, but also like that's way fewer cars.
Mhm.
India has 22 cars per thousand people. And that's like current statistics. India, kind of threateningly, there's been some industrialists in India who've been saying like, I think we can get that number up, like recently, but like truly, if those countries had the amount of CO2 output that we do with our cars, the entire planet would be done. Like
Yeah.
there would be no like coming back from that. And even just the fact that a place like the UK that has tons of fucking like problems with the way they handle things, they're still like greener than us, but they're like pretty wasteful. They have half as many cars as we do per person. Is pretty indicative of like how things work. In fact, that's one of the few things you can point to in Canada that's like truly like the US is that they have a fair amount of cars per person.
Hmm.
But like the only places that outdo the US are places that are like weird little like sovereign territories that are based around like specifically cars. Like I
Yeah.
think Monaco is above the US. And it's like, isn't that like a weird little fenced off area where cars live? Like anyway, I just wanted to talk about that because I feel like I'm constantly defending myself when it comes to cars. I think cars are fine, but I think they are a utility, and people use cars like they're everything but that. So,
Well,
just
and I think it's really interesting and important to know that there is a difference between the way that the U.S. uses cars and the rest of the world uses
yes,
cars.
a huge difference, in fact. Yeah, like Japan, nowhere near the amount of cars. Like Korea, like has a lot of cars per person in theory, but like, and Korea is kind of the place that everybody is saying is like probably going to be the new U.S. in the future now. Like they're sort of the younger, more technologically savvy place that is bringing all the money in. So like, I don't know, maybe 100 years from now we have another superpower that we're sort of sitting underneath. That would be fine. They'd probably do it better than we do, honestly. Kind of like how we did it better than the UK did it. Like, we're not good, but we got to trade off eventually. Anyway, I just get defensive about cars. Well, I'll probably talk about cars some more later.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I am entering a situation in which it is also kind of not necessary for me to have a car. So I may or may not soon also be very defensive about car.
Yeah. You live in a place that looks pretty walkable, honestly. So,
Yeah. So.
Also, ending note, there are galleries there, art galleries and shit, and I think that's a big step up from where you were before.
It is an improvement.
Yeah. All right. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get angry about cars some more.
You're not gonna gulp down more sharks?
Oh, God. This is the true McClunky. You asked for it.
You asked for it, thoughts. Now be gone.
Oh.